I have had enough of being terrible at Fortnite. I have been terrible at Fortnite for longer than I can even count. So I have decided that I am going through the most vigorous routine every day and documenting my progress starting from day one. Let's get into it. So we hit up the Kovacs Aim Labs, whatever you want to call it, made in Fortnite, and you can see it on screen here. I'm doing the hardest difficulty here, and I'm doing absolutely terrible. Look at that, awful. Then I went into Mechanics Training version 5 by Radar 464, and I'm doing 25 reps of aim duel. One of the most important things to practice in Fortnite, because otherwise I will lose every fight I can possibly take, unless I am at least a box away from them or behind cover. Then after that, I go into box fight aims and practice doing a jumping right hand peeks and bottom 3 tile edits. Now, I am very bad at jumping and aiming with a shotgun at the same time, which is very bad. However, I'm getting used to it and I need to practice. I'm doing 30 reps of this and I did 25 reps of the aim duels. We are going for loads of reps when it comes to this kind of stuff, which we are doing right here. Then after that we do horizontal tracking. We are doing 25 reps with the Hollow Twister AR and then another 25 reps with the collateral damage AR. And our aim definitely needs work, so we are putting loads of effort into this. So we are now getting to the 25th, and that's us. So now we better start doing well with the collateral damage AR. Yeah, it's not great at all. However, we are definitely getting closer and getting a lot better with the collateral damage AR and aiming with it. And we were actually starting to get a lot of damage done at one time with it without missing too many shots. And so we ended up getting the 50 reps. So now I attempted to do glider tracking. So I'm going to be doing 5 minutes of this every day because you need to 200 beam someone out of the sky, which I cannot do. I would not be able to do it if my life depended on it whatsoever. And we literally got no improvement. I've got no clue on what I'm meant to do here. I think this is more suited for keyboard and mouse players. Definitely not for a controller player like myself in this challenge whatsoever. Then we went on to do 100 reps of grease control, because my mechanics are actually atrocious and they require a lot of work. So usually the reason why I'm doing 100 is because I used to do 50 and I was very bad with it. I don't think 50 is enough, so now I'm going with 100 reps of this. However, eventually we were able to finish doing the 100 reps with this one right here, the right hand peek, the 149, and then the body shot. And then we went to free building, where I was failing miserably to do a simple 1v1 start, which is very annoying because I need serious work on it. And I also was struggling to do quad edits, and I was crashing out in the background. Yeah, look at the floor and shame, why don't you? Although eventually we decided to do more simple things like tunneling, and we are doing okay with that, doing able to ramp tunnels, and then doing retakes off on the side, and then do a triple edit. Could we do quad edits? Well, simply, I don't know. We couldn't do a triple edit, so, which is mildly concerning. But then somehow we're just able to do a quad edit. I know it's not a real quad edit, but that doesn't matter. And we tried doing this thing, which I tried doing in grease controls, but for some reason in free building I just couldn't do it. Maybe it was lack of confidence, but it was very poor from me in terms of execution. But that was day 1 of day 7. So we got straight into day 2 using the pistol for our target practice aim training. Then we went straight into aim duels, where we were comboing and sometimes missing, but usually doing relatively well, and we were doing pretty good. And then we went into the box fight things. We've all seen the routine, but I would say that we're starting to get decently better. However, our aim is still quite shaky, as was pointed out by one of my friends on Discord one time. And obviously we set out to improve that later in the video, but for now we are doing it very well, and we are very good at aiming with the collateral. That's a lie, but we were getting a lot better, and soon we moved on to glider tracking, something we were not good at all, and I think this is going to be the biggest weakness, and I think I might be changing my sense. But after that we went into piece controls, and we were doing very poorly, but towards the end we were doing quite well. However, this was a very poor peak. I mean, 2 poor peaks here, 3 poor peaks. And then after that we went into free building for the rest of day 2, doing our tunnels, and then day 3 arrived and we got straight into it, and our aim was starting to look a lot better. We were doing very well, being able to hit the bots consistently, and we were doing very well. Our box sight aiming was good, and our jumping aim with the shotgun was actually getting a lot better, and we were starting to use more edits. And then our aim with the hollow twister was still quite good. It always had been relatively good, but the collateral AR on this day, was it any good? I would say so. And our aim must have been amazing on this day, because I actually got a kill with the glider tracking. That was 2, and then there was 3. Then we got into piece controls, where we were doing okay, and I would say piece control is probably the most important thing to practice in today's game of Fortnite. But after that we did some free building with some tunnels and some usual 1v1 stuff. And then day 4 arrived and we were straight back into the routine, and our aim was getting good and we were starting to improve a lot more. But one thing I will notice is that over these 7 days, I don't think I improved as much as you would think I would have, which is going to be a very big problem. But nonetheless, we are having to sort this out, and we are getting very good at aiming with the collateral. Obviously with its spread, I would say it's quite a very hard gun to aim with. But one thing we were absolutely terrible with was glider tracking, and we were getting absolutely destroyed. We just could not do anything. But our piece control was definitely better on this day to an extent, but our timing was pretty poor, I would say, and that's leaving a lot to be desired. However, our reaction time was quite poor. After that we went into some free building and we practiced our 1v1 start, and we did more tunneling because that's going to be important. Then day 5, our target practice was going relatively okay. Our aim dueling was getting better, and I think that this is actually maybe the real most important. But after that we went into box fight aim training and we could not edit to save our life, which was very annoying, which is something we're going to need to work on. Now, in day 5 we were hitting more 1 bumps, and our aim with the hollow twister was good, and our aim with the collateral was good, I would say. However, what are we aiming at here? Our piece control we went into was relatively good, I would say, but we're hitting a lot of minimum damage. We're hitting 100 every time. And then after that we went into some free building again, and I would say, well, we could hit a crawl edit. But day 6 we have more target practice to do and more aim drilling, the most important thing to train in my opinion. I know I changed my opinion in this video already. Yeah, that's not great. But we were getting through the drills quite quickly, and I would say we've improved quite a lot compared to what we were doing before. However, our glider tracking leaves a lot to be desired. I'm going to blame the sensitivity for that one, but what is that aim? And I think we're going to definitely need to work on being more mechanical. That will be something we'll improve soon, because this Road to GOAT series is going to be constant. Every 7 days there's going to be frequent updates on this, But after that, day 7, we just played the Star Wars season, because you can't practice with any of the Star Wars guns. But in the next video, we will be training with the weapons and reload and the Hammer AR, because the Hammer AR is a reskin, or well, one of the guns is a reskin of the Hammer AR, so that will work very nicely in our favour. But yeah, we just played some pub matches of the new season. I'm just going to show you my first game, because that's all which was recorded, and I would say, I mean, to be fair, it's quite bad. We got 8 kills, but we died 3rd place right here. Most of our kills were complete bots, which is not what you exactly want. Nitro Fists are this is just annoying. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.